these unstaffed hotels are not appropriate for our neighborhood.
Debate over the efforts to overhaul short-term rental regulations, the concerns from both sides over the new proposed changes.
Plus, President Trump reveals a major change for the future of Palestinians, Israelis, and the entire Middle East. His comments tonight after meeting with Israel's prime minister.
Could be a little drizzly in spots here for tomorrow morning, along with our typical morning cloud cover. We'll show you when we've got much better chances for more widespread regular rain and first warning weather.
And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jennifer Sanders.
And I'm Daniel Marin. So how does Austin regulate short-term rentals like Airbnb or Vrbo? It may not seem like it matters, but the issue really does touch everything from tourism to Austin's ability to regulate nuisance properties in your neighborhood to how expensive housing is.
So here's just some of what the city is proposing. A person with multiple short-term rentals would not be able to stack them all together. A new proposed rule would require STRs that are owned by the same person to be at least 1,000 feet from each other. The city wants to collect hotel occupancy tax from short-term rental platforms, and platforms would have to require hosts to provide a license number in their advertisement. Without the proper city permit, a listing could get taken down.
As KXAN's Grace Reader explains, the city got feedback on these proposals today, and if you have thoughts that you would like to add, you haven't missed your opportunity.
Tuesday, Austin leaders got feedback on the city's proposed short-term rental regulation overhaul. As expected, it was a mixed bag, which included neighbors of nuisance short-term rentals who asked the city to do a better job protecting Austinites.
We need the Planning Commission and the council to understand that these unstaffed hotels are not appropriate for our neighborhoods.
The city also heard from short-term rental hosts. Some asked that the rules not overly restrict them or make hosting more expensive. In the case of Daryl Guest, who says he's operated a licensed short-term rental with his wife for more than a decade, it was tweaks to the ordinances he was after, including maintaining privacy for hosts during the listing process.
But the fact that we live in the home and people are coming into our home and staying with us, it reduces a lot of the problems and concerns that other people may have.
Austin has also run the rules through short-term rental companies, including Expedia Group, the parent company of Vrbo.
Vrbo is proud to be headquartered in Austin, and along with other Expedia Group brands, proud to play a key role in Austin's economy. We believe a professional, well-regulated market for short-term rentals benefits our partners, travelers, and neighbors.
You've got 2 more opportunities to take part in public hearings before City Council takes its final vote. We have those details for you over at KXAN.com. Grace Reader, KXAN News.
And according to Airbnb, a survey of hosts in Austin from late 2023 to 2024 showed more than 70% of those surveyed used the extra income they got from hosting to cover personal living costs. Now, Airbnb says its data shows the majority of hosts in Austin, more than 80%, each rent out only one home. According to the rental company's data, over the last year, the typical host in Austin rented out a property 60 nights per year, which amounts to 5 days per month.
Austin police arrested a 20-year-old accused in multiple sexual abuse cases involving underage children, and detectives think that there could be more victims. Austin Public Health is also involved. APH says will be working with APD by contact tracing any sexually transmitted infections that might be tied to the 20-year-old accused of abusing the underage children. Police say KXAN French Burton lied about how old he was when he got in contact with children between the ages of 12 and 17 on Snapchat and Instagram. APD wouldn't specifically confirm whether French Burton does have an STI. Police say the incidents happened between November and December of last year.
A North Texas man convicted in the death of an Arlington pastor is set to be executed tomorrow in Huntsville. A jury convicted Stephen Nelson in the robbery that led to Clint Dobson's death a decade ago. In an interview with News Nation in his final days, Nelson professed his innocence and argued that he was only the lookout and didn't know a murder happened during the robbery.
This will be my last interview because I have my execution date is next Wednesday. And that people do deserve second chances. You know, I'm not a lost cause. I'm not beyond help. I'm not broken. My foundation might have been cracked 13 years ago, but my foundation is whole now.
And Nelson claims during the trial his lawyers did not share all of the evidence, and he also maintains other suspects in the case are not being punished as harshly as he is. The Tarrant County District Attorney says Nelson was convicted based on, quote, overwhelming physical and circumstantial evidence.
Austin police made an arrest in an area known as a hotspot for car burglaries, Mount Bonnell. APD says they were able to find Armani White after a caller provided specific descriptions of her. Now, police say the caller said the 21-year-old and other suspects were pulling door handles and then breaking car windows at Mount Bonnell. Police said officers found a small amount of meth and fentanyl in White's car. They also found several gift cards that they believe were purchased with stolen credit cards, a face mask, gloves, a screwdriver, and cash. Police also arrested a man in the case but did not provide a name. For some added context here, the number of break-ins at Mount Bonnell were high before the city installed temporary cameras at the park and other popular parks in 2023. Once those cameras were in, the data shows the number of break-ins dropped drastically. The city took them down last year, but they could soon return. Police recommend people install a dash camera that can record when a car is parked and turned off, or sensors that detect motion. Police say that this will help detectives solve a case faster. And another suggestion, lock your doors, hide valuables, park in well-lit areas, and be aware of your surroundings and use anti-theft devices.
First warning weather with Chief Meteorologist Nick Bannon.
For most of us, we're experiencing another warmer than normal night with 70s in Austin and upper and mid 60s across the vast majority of the rest of the area, with one exception, the northern hill country into the upper 50s because a cold front has briefly dipped into some of our northernmost counties. That front will lift north and allowing more warmth to take over the area. And the vast majority of us seeing a southeasterly breeze that will drive in the low clouds as we head through the rest of the night. Not a lot of clouds out there just yet, but those clouds are building southeast of us and they will be moving in over the next few hours. That will turn us increasingly cloudy and at risk for some areas of drizzle by morning. Overnight lows getting down to 66. Typical high temperatures this time of year, 65. So our nighttime lows are warmer than our usual highs. Coming up in First Warning Weather, we'll track the potential for some morning drizzle tomorrow and how quickly we get to the sunshine. We'll be challenging record high temperatures at times over the next few days before this pattern ends and a cooler and wetter one begins.
All right, Nick, thank you so much. The U.S. Post Office just announced they will temporarily stop accepting packages from China or Hong Kong. USPS says this will not impact flats or letters. The reason why is not clear at this point, but China announced sweeping export controls targeting 5 metals used across defense, clean energy, and other industries. And this happened minutes after an additional 10% tariff on Chinese goods imposed by President Donald Trump went into effect.
A major reveal of plans in the Middle East tonight as President Trump says he will not rule out deploying American troops to support the reconstruction of Gaza. Speaking at a news conference after a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the president laid out what he envisions as long-term U.S. ownership in the redevelopment of the territory.
Gaza is a hellhole right now. It was before the bombing started, frankly. And we're going to give people a chance to live in a beautiful community that's safe and secure. And I think you're going to see a tremendous outflowing of support. I can tell you, I spoke to other leaders of countries in the Middle East, and they love the idea. They say it would really bring stability, and what we need is stability.
And President Trump said he wants to do this after Palestinians are resettled elsewhere. Egypt, Jordan, and other U.S. allies in the Mideast have cautioned the president that relocating Gaza's more than 2 million Palestinians would threaten Middle East stability and also risk expanding the conflict and undermine a decades-long push by the U.S. and allies for a two-state solution.
We don't pledge allegiance to Elon Musk.
Well, in Washington, several lawmakers gathered outside the Treasury Department today to protest against Elon Musk. This was billed as the Nobody Elected Elon rally. This as the Treasury is the latest department in the crosshairs of the newly created Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, that's headed up by the Central Texans and world's richest man. The Associated Press reports the DOGE Commission has gained access to sensitive Treasury data, including Social Security and Medicare customer payment systems. Now, the Treasury says a review is underway and that DOGE staff members will have read-only access to the government's payment systems. Musk responded to some of what Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer had to say about him today at the Capitol regarding this. On his social media platform X, Musk said in part, quote, that Schumer is mad that DOGE is dismantling a radical left shadow government.
Recovery crews say their mission after last week's mid-air crash in D.C. has taken a pretty significant step to bring those families some closure. All 67 victims from the crash between an American Eagle jet and an Army Black Hawk helicopter have been recovered. Officials say crews will remain focused on clearing the remaining wreckage from the Potomac River as they search for major components of the plane. Tomorrow, operations are going to shift to recovering wreckage from the Black Hawk.
Some 6th Street business owners say sales have dropped ever since the city put up fences as part of a phased plan to open the street back up to vehicle traffic.
And as KXAN's Brianna Hollis reports, these daytime hour destinations say they'll gladly deal with this dip in cash flow if the city commits to its long-term promises of revitalizing the street.
And how long have you guys all been on 6th Street?
I've been here since 1990, so I've been here for 35 years.
20 years.
This year's at 28. Wow.
These are the owners of Lucky Lizard and Rapolo's Pizza, two businesses that have stood side by side on 6th Street for decades. They all had the same thought when they first saw these new fences go up a couple weeks ago.
Once I got down here and looked, I thought, interesting.
Because this did take us by surprise. You know, we didn't know this was happening. We showed up one day and we're like, whoa, what is this?
The fences are a pilot as part of a phased approach to open 6th Street back up to cars full time. But these business owners, who draw a lot of daytime crowds versus late night visitors, say sales have dropped handily since the fences went up.
Initially, when we came in one day and these barriers were up, we were kind of upset about it.
Mindsets shifted when they realized the fences aren't a permanent solution. The city says the goal eventually is to permanently widen the sidewalk and have bollards or some other kind of barriers protecting pedestrians from cars. And it's that long-term plan that these stakeholders are holding out for.
If this temporary pilot has to be done to do the research and figure out what works, what not works, I think it's worth the small setback.
But that only stands, they say, if the changes actually come.
Check on it and make sure that the promises and the projects are getting done.
Brianna Hollis, KXAN News.
And the city says it's working to collect feedback from downtown businesses about the changes. Staff has sent out surveys that stakeholders can fill out. Going in depth right now, we brought you the story tonight because not much change after the last time the city tried to make a push to revamp 6th Street. Now, those efforts came from the Safer 6th Street initiative, which passed back in 2022. The hope there was also to diversify 6th Street into more than a nightlife destination.
Texas state lawmakers filed a resolution today to honor Houston native Beyonce after her historic wins at the Grammys this past weekend. On Sunday, Beyonce took home the coveted Album of the Year award. It marked her first win in the category and the first time a black woman has won this award since Lauryn Hill did it more than 25 years ago. Now, Beyonce also took home an award for Best Country Album and Best Country Duo Group Performance. Her win marked the first time a black woman won a Grammy for a country music song in 50 years and the first time a black artist won Best Country Album.
Okay, we had sunshine this evening and then we'll have clouds in the morning, but the sun will be back. Right?
Yeah, and then we'll keep doing it all the way through Saturday. So if you don't like this pattern, maybe just hang out inside, close the windows, close your blinds, and then ignore it until Sunday. That's when the changes start to come back. Right now, we've got a mainly clear sky from our West Campus camera on top of KXAN, our West Shore home camera looking toward downtown. Clouds are starting to build southeast of us, even into parts of Fayette County. We're already seeing those clouds, and they are going to rush through the area again overnight, giving way to not just a cloudy start, but we think our chances for a little bit of drizzle and some sprinkles will be a bit higher tomorrow than what we've had so far the last few days. That does not guarantee you drizzle, but it just means you may have some, especially if you just washed your car here today. As we head through the day tomorrow, the morning clouds will eventually give way to afternoon sun. May take a little longer than what we timed out today as far as the cloud to sunshine transition. Then the clouds come back in again for Thursday morning. That Thursday morning cloudiness eventually gives way to sun in the afternoon, and then we'll do it again here on Friday. There's actually a cold front clipping parts of the northern hill country right now. It's also separating the low 70s that we have in Austin from the 40s in Abilene. This front is not going to come any farther south. It is going to move north overnight and into the day tomorrow, bringing more warmth to the rest of Texas. But for us, we're just going to continue the warmth because we've already had it the last few days. You'll see the mid 60s tomorrow morning, turning into the low 80s here tomorrow afternoon. 65 is average for highs this time of year. So we're looking 15, 16 degrees above normal for highs tomorrow when we eventually get up to 81. Just don't forget about the morning clouds and drizzle, but eventually that sun does come out. Temperatures will keep warming. 84 Thursday, 85 Friday, 87 on Saturday. Thursday's high would break records. Saturday's high would tie the record high for the day. And then that front comes late Saturday night, Sunday morning, knocks us down to 65 on Sunday, and then highs only in the 50s Monday and Tuesday. The humidity is also going to drop like a rock Saturday night into Sunday with the help of that front. We may also get a little rain. Spotty shower possible Sunday. Higher rain chances Monday, but the highest rain chances and even thunderstorm possibilities come next Tuesday. Right now, those chances are not super high, but we're thinking at least scattered showers and storms as we get into Monday and Tuesday, amounting to about a quarter inch to an inch of rain for most of us, but a quarter inch or less for the hill country. And again, Monday, Tuesday being the best opportunity for rain where you are. Here's a look at our first warning weather 7-day forecast. You'll see those high temperatures drop into the 60s Sunday and 50s Monday and Tuesday, but our nighttime lows should stay well above freezing the way things look for now.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
Hi, good evening. Longhorns back home tomorrow after that impressive win at LSU on Saturday. Now they face an Arkansas team coming off their biggest win of the season at Kentucky. Of course, rivalry renewed. Last time they played was 2018. They've not played a conference matchup since 1991, and they've not played in Austin since 2011. All that said, Rodney Terry wants the first of these two games this season to be heavily burnt orange clad tomorrow.
The rival with Arkansas is huge, and, again, we need a very difficult place to play in come Wednesday night. We need Moody to be rocking at another level because we know we go to Fayetteville and be sold out over in Fayetteville when the Hornets come to town, but it's that big a rival. It's a big deal, and it's a great rivalry in college athletics to have our two institutions competing again at a very high level.
Texas win puts them at 5-5 in the conference after that 0-3 start. Arkansas started 0-5. They've won 2 of their last 3. Well, here it is. Luka Doncic with that Lakers jersey after the trade, talking today about the disappointment of leaving Dallas and about what the last couple of days have been like.
The first day was really hard. I felt like this last 48 hours was 1 month. Like 2 days ago was 1 month ago. So emotionally, it was really hard. I thought I was going to spend my whole career there because I think loyalty is a big word for me, and I was trying to stay by that. But this for me is a fresh start.
Yeah, he's not ready to play. Mavericks have Anthony Davis, but he didn't play tonight, and they lost by 2 at Philadelphia. Jahdae Barron picking up his Thorpe Award tonight. He gets that red jacket like former Longhorns Michael Huff and Aaron Ross did it in Oklahoma. The Conley High School grad came back for 1 more year and got the award, but the award comes with team success, and that's what he's most proud of, helping Texas get back into the top of the college football conversation.
Just to be a part of a change and to be a part of the Burnt Orange family at the University of Texas, it means the world. A lot of legends, they create the path for me. And another thing I always tell myself, honor the ones that paved the way for me and then leave a legacy for the ones that came after me. So I could truly say that I did that. And I'm a little Jim to Michael Huff. He's big Jim, and I'm a little Jim.
Cool. Cool that Huff made the trip. Texas Longhorn softball team going into the opener #1, led by their All-American catcher Reese Atwood. Last year, they got so close, losing in the championship series. Now they enter the season, even though OU is the reigning dynasty, as the top dogs.
It's a great honor to be able to tell you the truth, and now we got to back it up. We got to come out, and we've had a team that's been called young in the years past, and now we're a little more mature, and we'll see how we're going to handle that.
I think for the first few weeks after the World Series, it was definitely on my mind a lot. Now we're moving past it, and I think as a team we've all been able to do so.
It was an incredible experience for me, especially my first year. Everything I dreamed of. Obviously we came up short, but I think it kind of fired us up for this year, and I think there's no question in our mind that we're capable. It's just about getting the job done now.
Again, 2 games in Lafayette, Louisiana on Friday against Longwood and the Ragin' Cajuns. For more sports, don't forget, go to KXAN.com.